What's up, y'all? Good people. Welcome back to my little piece of the internet. I'm glad you hit the button. Um, if you like chopping it up by history, finance, current events, check me out. Follow me. I'ma always have something to talk about. Over here, my motto is: we roll up, to go back. So, today I ain't got no particular person I'm gonna talk about. I just kind of want to build on what some events I've been seeing going on in the news with the coronavirus and the way it's started ravaging the country, but black people in general. I mean, especially. Um, there's no way, man. After all this, ain't no way that nobody can bleed. Ain't no systemic racism in the country. Like you can't deny that. This. I was listening. The president gave his speech the other night. He even acknowledged in my lifetime that's the first time a president ever got on TV and actually acknowledged and talked about slavery and the wrongs of it. So that was big, and he said something that stuck out to me last night that I don't think a lot of people caught. He said, "Pay attention to the money." He said, "Pay attention to the commercials. That'll tell you where the money at, and that'll tell you where the country going." And I thought about that because every commercial you see on TV now is a mixed family or a mixed race uh situation. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Me, I don't care either way. To each his own. But the people that trying to deny that this country ain't right, it's just right now you just got to be in denial. Um, that kind of it is something I want to talk about tonight. And it's a new concept that just came to me, and I've been digging into the last couple of days, watching a couple of videos on, listen to a couple of people talk about it, and it kind of fit into the bigger puzzle that I've been trying to put together. Much as I study history, for some reason I can't understand why people look at American history and get this idea that America was this old Christian country and George Washington was a Christian and all that. I mean, I guess we taught that in school, but it ain't never really dawned on me. But lately, well, since the Capitol riot and the people on TV been talking about religious terrorism, like Bin Laden and the Taliban, terrorism with a religious background, and how them folk was in the Capitol, and while they were doing the riot, they start praying. So I heard one of the reporters or the people on TV say something about Christian nationalism. So I went and started looking it up and doing a little research on it, and that's the whole thing behind Trump. That's who put Trump in power. Now it all makes sense to me about the judges and him moving Israel and making moving the embassy to Israel. I mean Jerusalem and acknowledging Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and all these religious, everything that was dealing with him had this like religious background. And even me, I'm looking at him like, man, this nigga antichrist. But I know now I understand that thought pattern was cultivated in us ever since school with the left behind books and all that. But Christian nationalism is a real thing. It's an ideology. It's like a movement, and I ain't never even thought about it. But and the outline of that movement basically is that it's basically built on the mythos or the myth that America was founded as a Christian nation, and the founding fathers were raised up by God to start this nation. It kind of ties into American exceptionalism. I mean, the concept that America is this special nation because of the experiment of democracy that we engage in. And I ain't never know that it was laced with all this the foundation that the Pledge of Allegiance was built off of. So I looked up the guy Bellamy that wrote the Pledge of Allegiance, and he was a Christian socialist, whatever that means. But his idea of America and the thought pattern of the man that wrote the Pledge of Allegiance, I don't think he was talking to me. I don't think he ever thought I'd be putting my hand across my heart and saying it. And that's just from basic research. You could look it up. It's the Bellamy Salute. And it's like the precursor for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I said a precursor because they made him change it because it was like a Hitler salute. This how kids used to be standing up in the classroom doing the Pledge of Allegiance, like a Hitler salute. And they changed it. Congress, when they enacted and made it the Pledge of Allegiance, they changed it to the hand over the heart. So I don't think he ever had intent for us to be saying it. So why were they so upset when Kaepernick and all the athletes chose to kneel with the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem and all that? But the backdrop of all that is Christian nationalism. Like they really bleed in not just any Christianity, but they version of Christianity, the evangelicals. And it like all I can say is do your research. These folks and is wild. These folks is wild. The beliefs behind these religions and the people that started them. Don't get me wrong. I would never knock the church, especially the black church, because I understand the black church been pivotal in the resurrection of black people. The black church is where it's the heart of the black community. But the way we my understanding of the black church is nothing like what these folks got going on. These folks some racist, some religious racists, and they use the Bible to justify it all. But if you ever had a time just curious, look up the term Christian nationalism, and then you look around America and explain a lot to you. Knowing that America was never, it was founded supposed to be on religious freedom, but they forced Christianity on us at every turn, and it wasn't supposed to be like that. It was founded as a secular nation because in Europe, every kingdom, it was out there. Down the wars that we were running from, that the pilgrims were running from in Europe, and it just was crazy to me that you got people out there actually advocating for the end times, the apocalypse, Book of Revelation. They advocating for it politics, through politics. They're the one that put Trump in office. That Trump made that move in the Middle East because these people, to satisfy these people, these Christian evangelicals or whoever they are, it's new to me, but it makes sense now if you watch like Fox News or any conservative show or radio. All they talk about is God, 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 God. And all the women on Fox News got crosses around their neck. And then you look at the insurrection, they had crosses they had crosses and God save us. And it's white nationalism wrapped up in a religion. Really really the religion of Christianity to me is the backbone of white supremacy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend no Christian, but I can never share the Christian God. Not the blood shed that been shed in his name. Or dehumanizing the black people in order to how they use that system to dehumanize black people. I can never be a Christian. Ever. But each his own. We all gotta have suddenly somebody on this path. But that was real interesting to me. And like I said, go look up the guy that started the Pledge of Allegiance and the whole science behind him and what he was trying to do with the Pledge of Allegiance, the Boy Scouts, YMCA. All these were Christian civic organizations for a civic nation. Like we was never included in the plan. Not going off Christianity. Excuse me. Ah, but yeah, that's mind blowing. And the news today had me kind of shook Talking about the coronavirus, I was kind of shook off of that. But I'm getting a little hope because it looked like it going down. I can only hope that black people come out a little better than we was a couple months ago. What lead me to the whole purpose for me sitting down to this table is I told my old lady I wanted to be a medium. I wanted to go out and find ideas and concepts that we don't talk about in the black community and talk about them. And I'm trying to appeal to a certain audience. I want the black man or the young dude that own his way, but trying to figure out which way he need to go. Cause I don't been at a crossroads at a point in my life, and it was information that saved me. I mean, I can't put enough emphasis on that. People don't believe it. They don't want to accept it. Like sometimes my family wanted to be some kind of religious awakening, but it was none of that. It was learning about my people and figuring out how we got in the position that we was in. And once I figured that out, it allowed me to look at myself different. It helped me add value to my own life and made me want to do something different. So I want to sit down in front of the camera and put that out there and keep putting it out there, even if it ain't nothing but a term or something that I say, because I know the value of information. I believe the next revolution is an information revolution. The next war gonna be fought with information. That's just what I believe, and we don't want to wait and try to. We don't miss out on a lot because it's the blacking out or the suppression of certain information that ain't allow us to see ourselves all the way up to now. Because if we knew half of the things about our history in this country that's really out there, we weren't. Don't get me wrong, we were slaves, but we weren't always slaves, and a lot of people played pivotal roles that weren't slaves. So digging in your history is never a waste of time. It always serves a purpose. And understanding this country that we live in, understanding America and the perimeters that define it and the values of it. It was built off slavery, but how if we can truly understand how slavery shaped this country, and then maybe we can get up and act and have a hand in changing it. Like I'm looking at the Black Panther movie is expected to be the next box office hit, and everybody waiting on it. But no, right now, what better blueprint could we find to deal with the issues facing our community right now than what them guys did or what them brothers sought out to do through their activism, through organizing their community and feeding their community. The WIC program, as we know it today, come from the Black Panther Party, a community-based program they started to feed the kids in the neighborhood. And the movie gonna go in. The movie gonna go in, but I think it only talk about Fred Hampton. Now, if the other brothers in there, you really don't know who they are when you see them. So I'm gonna spit some names out there. So maybe you hear the names in the movie, you'll know who you talking about when you see them or who they talking about. That's Eldridge Cleaver. He was the Minister of Information. He died in 1998. Stokely Carmichael. He's the former SNCC leader and the honorary prime minister. He lived in exile in Africa from 68 to 1998. He coined the phrase Black Power. Elaine Brown, chairwoman and the Minister of Defense in the mid-70s, and she was the 2008 Green Party candidate for a little while. Ugh. Ed Bullins, Minister of Culture in San Francisco. Tim Hayes, founder of the Atlanta chapter. William Lee Brent, brother hijacked the plane and went to Cuba in '68. He died in 2006. H. Rap Brown, my home state. Well, we know him in Alameda in my home state. H. Rap Brown. Marshall Eddie Conway. He's the Minister of the Defense for the Baltimore chapter. He served 44 years in prison for a sentence overturn. Caitlin Neal Cleaver, party spokesperson and law professor. She's the wife of Eldridge Cleaver. Donald L. Cox, field marshal, but he died in France in exile, 2011. Aaron Dixon, chapter. He was the captain of the Seattle chapter. He was also a Green Party candidate for the United States Senate. B. Kawaku Doreen, coordinator of the Southern California chapter. Emory Douglas is the cartoonist that's responsible for all the comic books and all their literature. Mumia Abu-Jamal, Tupac made him famous in one of his songs. Was a powerful brother and played a pivotal role in what they had going on back then. Sundiata Acoli, he was the finance minister of the Harlem chapter. He's serving life in prison. I don't know if he passed away or what. I need to look deep into him. And then Bunchy Carter. Them just a few names that you probably gonna hear about in the movie, and so you'll know who you're talking about when you hear them names. Help you put some faces to the name, cause I respect what them brothers did. Like some of my favorite people, and they keep flashing across the TV screen. I had already made them up some time ago, trying to sell them, but I made them for kids. I wanted them to know. Like I felt like there was some people that they should know, and I try to make them kid friendly with the information on the back and who the people were. And I made them myself. And they also come with, I made them with deck of the party, of the party platform, with the party platform on the back, what they believe and what they wanted, what they would advocate for. But that's another thing. Probably later on down the road, I'm learning how to put links up so some of my stuff, people interested, they can get at me and get these my babies. The person smoking, person rolling, the guy who when the homies come through. But yeah, I ain't stay too long tonight. I just wanted to put that out there. And the Christian nationalism thing, I had to put that on, I had to put that in the atmosphere. Somebody else got to know. I felt like I've been missing it the whole time. So till the next time, till you stop by my little piece of the internet again. Keep linking it together. Peace.